Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. This presentation outlines the troubleshooting process for Diagnostic Trouble Code DTC P0971 related to the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C for Honda CRV models from 2011 to 2016. The AT automatic transmission clutch pressure control solenoid valve C plays a critical role in managing the hydraulic pressure within the transmission system. This solenoid valve is responsible for regulating clutch pressure, which allows for smooth gear shifts. When there's a malfunction indicated by DTC P0971, it often results from electrical circuit issues rather than mechanical failures within the transmission. It is essential to accurately diagnose this error using specialized tools like the HDS Honda Diagnostic System to prevent unnecessary repairs. The objective is to restore proper functionality to the transmission system, ensuring optimal vehicle performance. DTC P0971 indicates an error related to the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C, which is integral to the vehicle's transmission system. This solenoid is designed to regulate the hydraulic pressure applied to the clutch during gear shifts, which is crucial for smooth operation. The valve is located within the transmission assembly, making its accessibility a factor during troubleshooting. Typical locations are near the transmission fluid pump or alongside other solenoids in the valve body. The proper functioning of this component ensures that the transmission can adaptively manage gear changes without slipping or harsh shifting, thereby enhancing drivability and vehicle performance. In diagnosing this issue, it is important to recognize that the fault is electrical, emphasizing the need to inspect wiring and connectors associated with the solenoid. The potential causes of DTC P0971 are primarily electrical in nature. The most common issue is a malfunction in the electrical circuit that supplies power to the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C. This can occur due to frayed wires, corroded terminals, or disconnected connectors. Another possibility is the solenoid valve itself being defective, which affects its ability to control clutch pressure accurately. Poor connections, such as loose terminals between the solenoid and the powertrain control module, PCM, can also result in this code appearing. Finally, grounding faults, particularly in the designated ground G101, may contribute to erratic behavior of the solenoid. It is crucial to troubleshoot these areas methodically to isolate the root cause of the issue. When DTC P0971 is present, drivers may experience several symptoms indicating an underlying issue with the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C. One of the most noticeable is abnormal shifting behavior, where the vehicle either shifts too harshly or too softly. Drivers might also encounter transmission slipping, where the engine revs but the vehicle fails to move efficiently. An illuminated check engine light is a standard indicator that there is an issue that needs to be diagnosed. Additionally, delayed gear engagement may occur, leading to a sluggish response when the driver accelerates. These symptoms not only affect overall driving comfort, but can also lead to more significant transmission issues if not addressed promptly. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0971 involves verifying the problem by checking for current trouble codes. Start by turning the ignition key to the on position, labeled as II, without starting the engine. Use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear any existing diagnostic trouble codes. After clearing the codes, start the engine and wait at least 1 second. This allows the system to initialize and perform self-checks. Next, check for any pending or confirmed diagnostic trouble codes once again using the HDS. If DTC P0971 is confirmed, it leads to the next step in the troubleshooting pathway. However, if the DTC does not reappear, you may need to investigate further into the possibility of intermittent problems or connections. In this step, The focus is on conducting an operation check of the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C using the HDS. Select the clutch pressure control linear solenoid valve C from the miscellaneous test menu within the HDS. Initiate the test to assess whether the solenoid is functioning as expected. If the HDS indicates a normal function, it verifies that the solenoid valve operation is satisfactory, allowing you to move to the next troubleshooting step. However, if the HDS does not indicate normal operation, it prompts further examination of the solenoid or associated wiring. This process is crucial to ascertain whether the defect lies within the solenoid valve itself or in the electrical connections leading to it. During the third step, we focus on verifying the OBD status for P0971 while controlling the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C. Set the solenoid valve control to draw 0.2 amperes using the HDS. Monitoring the OBD status is crucial as it informs you whether the system is recognizing the solenoid's function effectively. If the HDS indicates a failed status during this check, it confirms that the problem persists, requiring further exploration of possible electrical issues between the solenoid and the PCM. If the HDS shows a passed status, it may imply an intermittent fault, indicating that the system is functioning correctly at that moment, but could potentially fail again. In such cases, it is essential to inspect connections thoroughly to rule out any loose terminals or poor connections. Step 4 involves checking the internal resistance of the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C to ensure it operates within the specified parameters. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the lock position, labeled as 0. Once the ignition is off, disconnect the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C2P connector, which is essential for safely performing the resistance test. Using a multimeter, measure the resistance between test points 1 and 2 within the disconnected 2P connector, specifically looking for a resistance value between 4.9 to 6.4 ohms. If the resistance is within this range, it indicates the solenoid valve is functioning correctly. Should the resistance indicate a value outside this range, a replacement of the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C is necessary, followed by the repair verification to ensure the problem is resolved. In the fifth and final troubleshooting step, focus shifts to checking the continuity of the PG2 line, which is essential for the operation of the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C. To do this, measure continuity between the specified test points using the multimeter, while keeping the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C2P connector disconnected. If continuity exists between the specified points, it confirms that the PG2 wire is functioning correctly. In such cases, it may be necessary to update the PCM with the latest software or substitute it with a known good unit to eliminate the possibility of a software-related failure. If continuity is absent, this indicates a break in the wiring between the solenoid and ground, G101. Immediate repairs to the open wire and ensuring solid grounding connections are necessary to restore functionality and allow the solenoid to operate correctly. The last step in the troubleshooting process for DTC P0971 is to conduct a final repair verification. Begin by reconnecting all connectors that were previously disconnected during the troubleshooting process. Then, turn the ignition key to the on position, marked as first I, allowing the vehicle's systems to power up. Use the HDS to clear any diagnostic trouble codes, ensuring that any residual codes from previous tests are erased. After clearing, start the engine and wait for at least 1 second, allowing the system to assess its performance. Check the OBD status within the DTC menu to verify whether DTC P0971 indicates a passed, failed, or not completed state. A passed indication confirms that the repairs were successful and the vehicle is functioning correctly, while a failed status suggests that an issue still needs addressing and further investigation is required. Preventive maintenance plays a crucial role in extending the service life of the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C and ensuring the smooth operation of the transmission system. Regular inspection of wiring, especially around the solenoid and PCM connections, can help detect fraying or corrosion before it leads to significant failures. Corroded or loose connectors can disrupt electrical continuity, which is often the cause of DTCs like P0971. Additionally, maintaining proper transmission fluid levels is essential for the overall health of the transmission. Low or dirty fluid can affect the performance of the solenoid and other transmission components, leading to potential failures. By implementing regular checks and addressing any signs of wear or deterioration, you can help prevent issues related to the AT clutch pressure control solenoid. In conclusion, troubleshooting DTC P0971 requires a systematic approach, focusing primarily on electrical components associated with the AT clutch pressure control solenoid valve C. Initial checks should ensure that any electrical faults are identified before delving into solenoid performance. Validating the operation of the solenoid through HDS Diagnostics is key, as it saves time in pinpointing the fault. Performing resistance and continuity tests further narrows down the issues to specific wiring or connection deficiencies. Successful troubleshooting culminates in comprehensive preventive maintenance practices that can mitigate future risks and ensure the vehicle's reliable performance. By adhering to these steps, technicians can efficiently address DTC P0971 and maintain the operational integrity of the vehicle's transmission system. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.